Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the Middleman CEO channel. I'm your Middleman CEO, Sean John. Welcome to the channel. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. So, sometimes when I come on and do videos, I get to share a little bit of my backstory and what I've been through and how I ended up getting from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I was born and raised, to where I live today here in Dallas, Texas, in this awesome, amazing neighborhood. And I've had comments about share your story. They want to hear more stories. And I just want to be clear, when I share my stories, I'm not looking for pity or anything like that. You know, I'm not the only person who's ever been in a bad financial situation. And I won't be the last. So when I say it, it's to inspire you, right? It's to show you, hey, I've really been in a tough place. And I was blessed and able to get out of it. And I'm telling you, you could do the same. I'm no different than you or anybody else. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. That's the truest fact. Okay? So, in 2017, there was a situation in Baton Rouge, Louisiana that left me completely homeless. How homeless? Completely homeless. I'm talking about I had nowhere to live. There's an event in the neighborhood tonight, so I wanted to come check out what was going on. I think it's called Candy Cane Lane or something like that for the kids. So we'll be out here tonight. But anyway, I had no money. I had no clothing. I had no income. I had no job. I had no ID. I didn't have a toothbrush. I didn't have a change of underwear. I didn't have socks. When I'm telling you, when I got off the rescue boat, because there was a bad flood in the city. Half the city was flooded. My neighborhood was one of the worst. Over 10 feet of water. Lost everything. I didn't own the house. It was a rent house, so I had to leave. But there was nothing to go back to anyways. And so I end up in this really bad position. And, you know, I got 2 kids. I'm not producing. I feel like a bum, like a pooped dad, and I'm not able to take care of them, provide for them. And I'm telling you, I wish it was struggle life. It was struggle day. I was struggling every single day just to get a little food. I remember one time I was down to about 75 cents. I had 3 quarters, no joke. And I was trying to catch the city transportation bus to another part of town so that I can try to get a job. And when I got on, it was $1.50, and I didn't know how much it was. So I put the 75 cents in, and the lady looked at me, and she could tell I was in a bad situation. I don't know that lady's name, but I appreciate that lady until this day. And she just looked at me, and she didn't say anything, but she saw that I was out of money, that I didn't have anything else. So after like a brief pause and a stare down, I guess, she was like, she gave me that little head nod. And I was like, all right, thank God. Hate to be embarrassed like this. And you want to talk about feeling low? Oh my gosh. The worst feeling you could have is when you know that you've got potential, but you're not living up to it, and you're in probably the worst position of your whole entire life. And that's how I was, and these were sad days. And from there, the first place I was sleeping is in public restrooms and parks. Public parks were closed at sundown, and so I know everybody had to leave, and so I would go into those parks and try to go to sleep. I would lock the bathroom doors from the inside. Typically the women's bathroom, because for some reason the women just didn't use the public restrooms. And then that was getting tricky because they would start locking the doors, like the maintenance people, and so I couldn't get in there. And so what I started doing then is I started going to apartment complexes late in the middle of the night, and I would walk through, and if I would see an apartment was under renovation, and if you've ever been out there, you know I'm telling the truth, because you got to be out there to know what I'm telling you is true. If it's under renovation, I would just start turning the knob. And then I would get lucky, and if I find one that was open, I would stay in it all night and then get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning and exit through the back window so that the tenants don't see me. And that's how I lived for 3 months. I had nothing. 3 months. I would get up and go to these little temporary places where they would like send you day work, labor work. And I would get up like 5 in the morning, walk over there, hope and pray there was something and somebody had a car that I could ride with them, like ride share. And this was 2017. And sometimes there was something, sometimes there was nothing. And I used to, so I started, a friend told me, a guy there, he was homeless too. And he started telling me about this shelter where they feed the homeless people. Well, maybe it wasn't a shelter, it's more like a cafeteria. But they would feed homeless people like at certain points out of the day. And so he and I started walking over there during the day. And I remember, you know, sitting in there eating spaghetti. It's like a cafeteria, like a lunchroom at school. And I was thinking to myself while I was eating, man, I'm hungry, I'm happy to be eating. But this is not the life I'm supposed to be living. It's one thing to be in a position you're in and be okay with it, but it's an entirely different thing to be in a position that you're in and know that you're capable of more. And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I was capable of so much more. I knew I could do more, and I intended on doing it. I just didn't know what to do, right? And so I ended up having a conversation with the guy who gave me a bottle of water in I want to say an Albertsons parking lot. And this guy was like, he was like asking me questions and whatever. I was like, bro, I just want to get some water. I wasn't even asking for money or anything. It was just like, hey man, it's hot, here, take this. I was like, cool. And he was like, you know, hey, what do you do? It's like, man, I'm still trying to find work, you know. And he was like, what skills do you have? And I was like, man, the only thing I've ever done, like, even well, was, you know, I worked at a moving company for a while, and so I learned how to load boxes. He was like, look, as long as you got a skill, you can make money. And I never forgot that. That's why I always share with you. And so what I did is I went immediately to the public library, went in there, put an ad on Craigslist. They were free at the time. And I was like, hey, if anybody need help loading boxes and furniture onto a truck, email me. And bam, like the next day, because I went back to check it, because I didn't have a phone, I went back to check it, and bam, there was, what, an email from a lady. I'm not going to say her name, but I ended up helping her that day and then moving her again when I built my own company. So great relationship. I moved her from Louisiana to Orlando, Florida. I'll never forget it. And so I went in there and helped her. And I was working with another crew. She made us burgers. I took the burgers home. She paid me like 40 bucks. I didn't even know what to charge. I was making $9 an hour at that moving service. I didn't know what to charge. Luckily, she knew what to pay. And so I took the money. I did not complain. I took that money. And so I started that day with $40, but more importantly, I had something to eat. I had food, so I wasn't going to be starving for the next 2 days. I ate every burger. I don't even know if it took me 2 hours. I was that hungry. I smashed that bag of burgers. I was happy when the other crew, because she was like, hey, she was like, Sean, you can take a couple and I'll check to see if the other guys. How many know I started hoping and praying that the other people would say no? I was like, man, I hope they're full. And she came back, she was like, they're not interested. I was like, oh my gosh, give them to me. I know some people, I didn't know anybody, I just knew me. I didn't want her to know I was that greedy. I was like, I'll take it. It was like 10 of them. I was like, I'll take theirs. I know some people that probably like, I was talking about me. I was gonna eat all them boogers. And I took those things, I went, and I'm talking about, I ate them. I caught like the bus, because I caught the bus there, and then I had to walk down to the end of the street to leave also. And so I ended up with 40 bucks that day. And I gotta be honest with you, that's the last time I've ever been broke. So as time, because somebody put a comment, how did you buy your trucks? I don't know if they weren't listening to my story, but so I started doing labor only, labor, because I didn't have trucks, didn't have transportation, I didn't have any of that. But if people needed help, I would continue to go and help them. All of a sudden, I had about, I want to say about $1,500, which is a big win for me, because I had nothing prior to that. So I had about $1,500. And then I took the 1,500 bucks, and then a guy called. I'll never forget it. It was a rainy day just like today, except I was not here in Dallas. I was in Louisiana. And a guy called me, and he said this. And again, I didn't even know. I was just charging like a few dollars an hour just to put money in my pocket, just like a job. And the guy called and he said this. He said, hey, do you do long distance moves? And I was like, of course. Lying. I didn't even know how to get out of Louisiana, barely. But mama ain't raised no fools, and I wasn't turning down money. I was gonna figure out if I didn't know it, I was gonna find a way to know it. Or I was gonna find somebody who knew it. And that guy said, these were the exact words he said to me, I'll never forget it. He said, if you can get me to LA for less than $10,000, I'll book with you right now. And how many know I was like, book it. So I gave the guy a quote. It was like 9,700 or something like that. Because I came in right below that. I didn't even know what it cost. I was going by what he said. And it could have been double that. I have no idea. But when he said that, I was on board. I booked this guy, locked this guy in right there, just writing everything down. Because that's how I was doing it back then. I had to write it down. By then I had a phone. And so I was writing everything down. And this guy, he was telling me, I didn't even know what questions to ask. But he was telling me he had a storage. And it was like a 10 by 20 or something like that. And he would probably need one truck and just to be out there in this state. And I was like, all right, I got 2 weeks to prepare for this. I'll find somebody to help me. I'll find somebody who can drive. All of that, right? And I didn't know how to get out there. I had to find somebody who knew how to do it. So I hired this guy. This guy's name was OJ. I'll never forget it. So I pull up to get OJ. Now, I'm all in. I go and rent a Penske truck. If I'm not mistaken, those are the yellow ones. And I went to rent a Penske truck, but to go out of state, they take a big deposit. So they took about a $500 deposit, I want to say, which left me with a little less than $1,000. And so I promised OJ 500 bucks. If he can spend 3 days with me, we'll go to California and come back. He knew the way, and he was like, I'm down. So I had to pay him that, because even if I don't get done, or if I don't make any money, you still have to pay the people who helped you, right? And so I had 500 for him, and I had 500 for gas. We had no money for hotels, no money for food, no money for anything. But I didn't care. I was like, look, we'll make it these 3 days. No sleep, no baths, hardly any food. We're going to find a way. And so we go and load this customer's furniture up. We have no idea what we're doing. We load it up as best we could, drive out there. The customer, after we unload into a storage in California, the customer writes a check. By the way, that was one of the scariest drives I've ever had, because going into California, like coming out of Phoenix, you have to go around these mountains. I had never seen anything like that except on television. It scared the hell out of me. I was terrified. Every time I made a turn, I thought I was going to fall to my death. And that was enough for me. And so, but the funny thing is, I went to pick OJ up, and I'm calling this guy. I'm like, hey, where are you? I'm outside. I don't see anybody. I'm like, dude, I just see a homeless guy and, you know, people in the store. And because he gave me that address, I thought it was his house. He was like, yeah, I'm coming. Then he hung up the phone, and guess what? The homeless guy who was sitting by the door stood up with a backpack and walked to the truck. I was sitting there floored like, did I just hire a homeless guy? Not only was he homeless, he was beyond high on meth. This dude must have, I don't know how much meth he had, but it was obvious. And this dude drove us out there and drove us back. He didn't sleep for 3 days. I barely slept. He was popping so many pills, I thought he would die on the way there and on the way back. And it was a disaster. We got a check from the customer because we couldn't take credit cards, because I didn't know how to take that credit card. I thought we would get cash, but we got a check. We drove back. In my mind, I'm thinking there ain't no way this check's gonna clear, because there was some damage to some of the furniture, and because we scratched some of the stuff up because we didn't know what we were doing. I was like, there is no way this check is gonna clear. No way. And so we got back, I went to the bank, I tried to cash the check under the moving company name that I had just made up on the spot. And the banker, the teller was like, do you have a business account here? I was like, no ma'am, but it says Chase Bank, so I just came here. I had no idea what I was doing. She was like, sweetheart, you cannot cash this unless you have a bank account here. I was like, well, how do you get one? And so she gave me these things for a business bank account, a list of things, and I went and did those, right, very quickly, and came back. And she was like, we'll go ahead and deposit it. I was like, bet. And I was like, can I get it all cash? And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. It's going to take a couple of days to clear, but you'll get $200 up front. In my mind, I was gonna, I was starting over with $200. I was gonna owe the bank $200 because there's no way this $10,000 check was gonna clear. No way this man wrote me a check and then 2 days later it's gonna clear. After they had a not so good experience because we broke some of his wife's precious things, like her spa chair, and OJ had no clue, I had no clue. This was way too big for us. And when we got there, you know, I did all that. I was like, all right, they gave me a temporary card. They were like, check back in 2 days. I'm like, in my mind, I'm past it. I'm like, I got 200 bucks. I'll owe you 200. I know this check ain't clearing. I got to start over. I know how to make money. Let me get out here and hustle and get some more moves. And I went back with the temp card. Guess what? $9,800 in the bank account. Oh my God, it was the best day ever during that time. And I'm telling you, I have never been broke since. I've never had less than $10,000 in my, well, not my entire life. I've been broke my whole life. But since that day in 2017, I've never had less than $10,000 in my life. Never. Right? And it blessed me. And so I worked that company, saved up money, I used that $10,000 to buy an old used U-Haul truck. The guy wanted like $5,000. I negotiated to like $3,000 and got the truck. And then I started hiring people to help me, people that I knew. Then I bought a couple more trucks. And so I had a few trucks, a few crews, and we were rolling. We set the system up right, taking credit cards. We were making money. So for the person who asks, how did you buy your first truck? That's how I bought it. I saved up money from doing jobs, and then I went and bought my first truck. So, and guys, that's what happened, and it was a blessing. And then after like 3 years in 2020, I was like, all right, I had enough of that. It's too much, you know, it's wear and tear. I don't really know, you know, if I want to continue to do this. I don't want to be, you know, doing the moving part. I got a little money. I had a good bit of money saved up. I was like, all right, what else can I do? And so I was like, all right, I'll pause and take a break. And then people started hitting me up saying, hey, can you move me? See, I always say, when you have a skill, money will find you. Money will chase you down. I was like, no, I can't move you. Let me find a friend who can do it. Because by then I had sold all my trucks and I didn't feel like getting out there. And I was like, let me reach out to one of the other guys who do it and see if they want to do it. So I would take all the information and then I would send the job. And then one of my friends, he was like, hey, did you take a deposit on it? I was like, no, why would I do that? He was like, sometimes they cancel. I was like, okay, bet. And so from now on, I started taking deposits. I was like, yeah, it's a $100 deposit, $150 deposit if it was something big, $250, $300, even a $500 deposit if it was like a $5,000 job, right? So 10% deposit, give me $500. And so I kept doing that. And then all of a sudden, it started rolling. I was like, wait a minute, I'm still doing moving, but without actually doing the work. There are other people who do the work. And I was like, this is similar to what Uber does. Uber has a platform, and all they do is connect the customer to the driver, the rider to the driver, and then they take a cut. They make their money in the gap. And I was like, that is a great blueprint. Let me try that. And so I got focused on it more and more. So I started intentionally going out, advertising, promoting, telling people about it, being on Facebook, being in groups. Hey, I got some work. Who wants it? And so I started booking these jobs, taking deposit, and then dispatching the jobs. So I got really cute about it, really smart about it. I started getting the best contractors in moving. I was just loading these people up. And all of a sudden, I look back at the end of that year in 2020, and I made $77,000. Now, I probably could have made more if I knew what I was doing, but I did not fully understand what I was doing. But there were days where I was making $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. And my wife can tell you, because she'd come home, I'd high five her. I'd be like, you're not going to believe this. You come home from a hard day at work, babe, I just cleared $1,200 just sitting in this house. Or I walk out and exercise or do what I'm doing now. I'm about to hit the gym up. Because now I have virtual assistant who does all of the phone work, because I've been doing this for a while. But for you guys, if you get into my masterclass or the VIP where I train you one-on-one, I want you to learn to do the business, and then we're going to teach you how to get the VA so you don't have to do those things anymore. They'll do it for you. But in the beginning, you need to learn some things about the business. And so that's why I always say, hey, for the first 3 to 6 months, I want you to learn and grow, and then we'll get to the VA part. And so I started making money. There were good days where you would make, you know, over 1,000, and there were slow days, especially like around Christmas, where you would make 300, 400. Still not bad, because you're not out doing any physical labor, but you still want to make as much as you can. So on average that year per day, I was probably making about 500. So not bad. It only took me 5 minutes on these calls. So I would go through because I got smart. I was like, I need a script. I don't want to just be, you know, just talking, right? And I don't want the customer to just be talking. I need to take control, because these calls were getting long. It's like, I need to find out what I need. Hey, this is such and such. How can I help you? And because I started doing it for cleaning services too, just a year ago. I got a friend. I got 2 friends. They own cleaning services. And when I found that out, I was like, you need some customers? They were like, yeah, I bet. I need as many as I can. I was like, bet. Give me a week. I'm going to run some ads, and I'm going to bring you some customers. And I was like, how much do cleaning services pay per hour for two-person crew? And she was like, you know, she gave me a number for this area, which is like $125 in Dallas. I was like, bet. All right. So I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2-hour minimums, which is $250 total. And I said, are you willing to send your crew out there for $175 for the 2 hours? She was like, yeah. And so I was like, all right, I'll take a $75 deposit from each one, and then you can keep all the rest. If it's a $1,000 job, don't care, you keep it. And so, bam, she was good with it. And I got another friend who goes here to the gym with me, and he has a cleaning service, and I got to get with him because I want to start sending him work. So the beauty of this is, once you learn the blueprint, you don't have to stay in one lane. You could service anybody. I could walk in here right now and find somebody who does landscaping. And then I'd be like, hey, I'm going to run a landscaping ad. What do you charge? What are you willing to work for? And then I'm going to go raise that price, take a deposit, and then send them what they're willing to work for. So if that person says, hey, if I'm doing landscaping, I'm willing to work for I'm willing to work for, you know, I normally charge $200. I'm willing to do it for $150. Bet. I'm going to go and charge the customer $250, take $100, and then that person can go and do the work and get the $150. There were times where I was making almost as much as the movers, and I wasn't even out there, right? But I always try to keep it fair, because I always want everybody to feel like it's a win-win, do it again. So when the movers walked away from it, they felt like, you know what, that was a good deal for me. I had movers call me back and say, man, I made $1,200 on that job. Now, I only took $150 off of it. Was I mad about that? No, because now they know that I'll send them good work. So now that makes them want to work with me even more. I used to have so many texts when I wake up in the morning. Guys were like, hey, it doesn't matter what you have. God honest truth. It doesn't matter what you have. Send it. Don't even ask me if I want it. Send it. Because these guys had crews and crews that need work. And they were like, send it. Don't even ask. Send it. And so now you can take as much of a deposit as you want, because these guys are desperate for work, right? But be fair. Always be fair. You want it to be a win-win, so they'll do it again, right? A win-win, do it again. You want the customer to feel like they won. You want the business to feel like they won, and you want to feel like you won. You want everybody to walk away from the table going, you know what? That was a pretty good deal. Not walking away going, you know what? I think I got taken advantage of. You never want that. But again, the beauty of it is you can cross barriers and do this in different industries. I could literally sit here, use my phone right now, and run an ad on Craigslist for $5 and say, if you need a moving quote, call me right now or email me, text me, and they will. And then all you do is go through your script. I know you don't have a script. That's why you need coaching, because I'll give you my script. Very, very generic, very powerful. If I tell you like the first thing in my script that I say, you'll be like, what? You get away with that? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't even talk about price in the script. I go straight to value, cover price for about 3-5 seconds, and we're gone. And then we're booking, and I walk you through that. How we're not asking questions, we're leading them where we want them to go, right? So I have a 3-year-old, and when we were potty training him, we weren't asking, hey, do you have to potty? Nah, you coming with me. I got your hand. I'm gonna walk you into this bathroom, put you on this potty. You gonna potty, right? And that's how I went. And so I came here, kept doing the business, still have the business, jumpingjackmovers.com. We're still going, except I don't answer the calls or nothing like that now. The VA does it, but in the beginning I was. That's how I learned all these things. And then I'll just transfer my script there. Hey, here's how I want you to answer these calls, schedule these things, and I'll check my data to see what we're doing. Yesterday was a slow day. Christmas is very powerful. Christmas influences the dollar like nobody's business. Everybody slows down for Christmas. That's how powerful Christmas is. People are buying gifts, buying presents, getting ready for the new year, whatever, taking trips. And so if you're slow right now, don't worry about it. Yesterday we were slow. We only closed 4 yesterday and ended up with a little less than $500. Still not bad. I'm not complaining about it at all, because yesterday I was in the gym shooting basketball, hanging out with the family, lunch with the wife. My goal this year, coming up in 2024, I'm gonna let y'all in on this, is to retire my wife. Guys, you know we need women in our lives, because without them, we would blow all our money on pizza and video games, and we probably wouldn't even take showers. That's a true fact. In 1-bedroom apartments. But you get wives, or you get these women, and then you walk into these $1 million homes and they say, I gotta have that. And now you gotta go figure out how to be great. And it's a good thing, because it takes you to the next level. Having a woman in your life, the right woman, will multiply your life, will take your life to levels you never dreamed of. I never dreamed of being a homeowner. All of a sudden, 4-bedroom home, upstairs, balcony, overlooking the living room, 20-foot ceilings and curtains. I was like, oh my God, how did we get here? And my friend, he's older, he was like, you married? Yeah, he knew I was married. He was like, he's trying to make a point. He's like, you got a wife? She likes stuff like this? It's like, yeah, that's how you get there. They take you there. They make you want to go there. Because without them, you wouldn't be motivated, right? So I enjoy it. Now she wants a bigger home. This one's like right under 3,000 square feet. But she's been looking into these $1 million homes, and on the island in the neighborhood we live in. And so hopefully we'll be in the next year or so building our dream home here in Dallas. Love Dallas, love Dallas. So by the way, if anybody wants to come to Dallas or check it out, I'm telling you it's worth it. And you're welcome to hit me up. I love the city. I've only been here for a few years. I'd share it with you. Been here like 3 or 4 years, I think. I'd show you everything I know. I've made friends on these channels that move here and say, man, let's meet up and have lunch, and we go hang out. And it's awesome. Have a great time. But again, I used the company after I sold everything. I got into booking, deposits, and dispatch. Get paid, get booked, dispatch. That's it. You're not doing any of the work. Don't touch boxes, don't touch brooms, don't touch anything. In fact, don't leave your house. All I need you to do is have a phone, have a script, get some training, legalize your business, get your bank account. You can have a website, you cannot have it, it's up to you. More importantly, we're going to put an ad together. Put your ads together. And we're going to show you where to run them for free, because organically, you're going to need to start off free up front so you don't waste money. Get those calls coming in, master your business. Somebody asked the other day, it was like, hey, do I need to go list my company on Google? Somebody who's in my class. No, do not list your company on Google till about 3 to 6 months. Give yourself time to learn your business and learn your customer and learn your contractors, so that now that you've learned them and you got the best of each, now you're comfortable putting good contractors with clients, matching them with clients, and getting good reviews. Because if you list on a public platform like Google, they're going to leave reviews. And if you're not doing a great job, or if you got the wrong contractors, and it's too early to know if you have the wrong or the right, that's why I say wait. A customer may leave a bad review under your business name, and that review is going to stick forever. And you don't want that. So go learn, master your business, get matched up with the right companies, and then now you're able to say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and list on Google so I can bring in more customers, and I know my reviews are gonna be good because I got the right contractors. That's why that's important. So, and I got some other tricks and tips too. If you want to get into the live training, then go ahead and shoot me an email if you want one-on-one with me and training from the course. If you just want to get the course, it's very inexpensive. Go ahead and click the link in the first comment below to get the course. I'm going to put the link there. The course is a 2-part course. Takes a few hours, but just be ready. It's going to be worth it. If you want to get VIP training, which means I want to take the course plus I want to get one-on-one with you so I can make sure we got this, then write VIP in the comments. If you want to get the course, just click the link in the first comment below. Anyway, that's the story. I was homeless. I was in struggle life, struggle day, struggle hour. I had 2 kids. I felt like the lowest form of life. Like, not only was it hard for me, but worst of all, I wasn't able to take care of my kids. Now, I'm able to give my kids the neighborhood we live in, beautiful, amazing neighborhood. I'm able to give my kids beautiful, amazing daycare and school. Events. I just showed you the event that's going down tonight, Candy Cane Lane in the neighborhood. I'm able to buy them whatever they need. I remember when I was a kid and schools were like, hey, these kids need this. We couldn't afford any of that. And so now I'm able to buy those kids whatever they need. Money's not something we don't talk about in our house. It's not a concern. In fact, I know a lot of these courses out here on the internet and whatnot. I know a lot of people that are teaching this stuff haven't done this stuff. I do it. First of all. Secondly, I know a lot of people are out here charging $5,000 and $10,000 for courses. I've seen it, and I just don't think that's fair. That's why my course is very, very inexpensive. It's less than $500, less than $400, less than $300. And I always say, if you're not willing to invest in your dream or to have the life that you want to have, then my videos are not for you. I'm only looking for people that are self-motivated and ready to go into business. Right? So my course isn't $5,000. It's not $10,000 because I don't need that from you. Use that. Buy the course for a few $100, couple $100, and then use the rest to start your business, because I want you to benefit. I want to hear your stories. I want you guys on here telling me how the Middleman CEO Masterclass changed your life. And that's all this is about. So that's why everything's affordable. And I want to keep it that way because I want to help you. And that's a fact. I've been there. I've done that. A lot of you are sitting there watching this video going, man, I've had a tough life. It's been a struggle. I just want to be in a better position going forward. 2024, you're sitting there going, 2024, you cannot be the same as 2023. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. I've got to make a move. This is your opportunity. You are not watching this video by accident. You are intentionally here. You were intended to be here to hear this from me. Whether you buy the course or not does not matter. I'm here to tell you that this is the year and the time you change your life. No more excuses. No more backing up from your plans. No more having to deny your dream life because you feel like you can't accomplish it. Let me tell you something. Whatever you're dreaming about, if you have the tools, because I'm not going to lie to you and tell you can do whatever you think you can do or whatever you want to do. That's not true. You can do whatever your tools and gifts say that you can do. You could do whatever you are capable of doing. The only difference is, the only thing that's going to make the difference is whether or not you're willing to put in the work to do it. So if you're willing to set aside 4 or 5 hours to train and learn what I'm going to teach you, then do it. If you're sitting there going, I'm tired of working this job, I would love to make money part-time and make more money than I'm making at this job, and actually get to go out and do the things I enjoy doing, then click the link, right? If you're like, hey, I don't care what it's going to take, I promise I'm going to change my life, click the link. If you're like, hey, I want to go out and live a life of freedom, do what I want to do, when I want to do, not have to look at my bank account, click the link. I made 77K my first year, I want to say 125 or 128 the second year. Now my goal every year is to do 250 plus. $250,000 a year will change your life like you never believed. Change your life. You can live where you want to live. Drive what you want to drive. You don't have to look at your bank account. You got money, right? It's not $1 million a year. That's fine. We don't have to make $1 million a year. Just make 250. Let me get you there. I can do that in a year. It took me longer. It took me 3 years to get that because I was learning. There was nobody to teach me the middleman process. But I'm here with the blueprint to teach you. And I'm telling you that if you do it, if you let me help you, I'll get you there. And that's a promise. That's a truest fact. I promise I can get you. And that's true. That's damn true. I can get you there. And if I can't, I'll refund you. But I promise you, if you're willing to put in the work, I'll show you how to get it done. Links in the comment below. I can't wait to see you in the training. If you want VIP, which is the course plus one-on-one with me, I'm down. Let's roll. You'll get that. Write VIP in the comments and let's make it happen. If you want to get just the course, then the course is least expensive, but it does not include me. Fine, go ahead and get the course. I'm going to be teaching on the course. You just won't get the one-on-one with me. So, me personally, I prefer the one-on-one whenever I do buy courses because I buy them because things I like to learn. I like the one-on-one because I'm just a guy who have a lot of questions. That's just me. And I like to get my questions answered. And so anyway, guys, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. I hope this blessed you in some way. Even if you're not doing my course, that's fine. Just be blessed. Enjoy life. Life is short. Even if we get 100 years, it's short. Please enjoy your life. Live it to the fullest. Don't let small things get in the way. Don't disregard the small things that are a blessing. Enjoy your life. Love on somebody. Kiss a neck. Or like we say, hug someone's neck, shake someone's hand. That's normally what you say. But we say shake someone's neck and hug someone's hand. Whatever you got to do to enjoy life. Be blessed. I'm going to go get my workout on because I don't have to go to a job or office or anything. You can have it in your house if you want to. But all I have to do is go online, check my VA records, see how we're producing, what's good, what's bad, make adjustments, and we're done. So, and I'll teach you how to do that. Imagine 6 months from now or a year from now, at the end of 2024, after you've already taken my course and been running this business for a year, that you're making, I don't know, $10,000 a month. Wouldn't that be nice? The time's going to go by anyway. The year's going to go by anyway. You might as well be working on something that can make your life better. All right, guys. Peace. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.